The story begins with a narration about ancient feudal Japan, which was populated by witches and warriors. A shogun ruled the kingdom, and samurai who failed their lords suffered the shame of becoming Ronin. To understanding the 47 Ronin legend, one must first understand the story. A boy named Kai is racing through the woods. He collapses and falls face down into the stream. A group of samurai find him. They saw claw marks on the back of the boy's head. One samurai, Oishi, attempts to push Kai's face into the water, but Kai fights back and grabs his sword. Their leader, Lord Asano, takes Kai to their province Ako. Kai gradually develops feelings for Asano's daughter, Mika. The remaining samurai hate Kai because he is a half-breed. Years later, an adult Kai is in the woods. When the samurai approach him, they are immediately attacked by a huge beast with massive antlers. The beast races across the forests, nearly attacking Samurai Yasuno. As the beast runs over Kai, he takes Yasuno's sword and thrusts it into its chest. It drags Kai, who still holds the blade, until the beast collapses and dies. Kai returns Yasuno's sword, but he disrespects him because he is half-breed. Yasuno cuts a portion of the beast's antler. Kai notices a white fox with gold and blue eyes from a distance. The samurai return after their journey. Mika rushes to see whether anyone has been harmed. Her father knows who she's looking for. Mika finds Kai elsewhere and discovers a cut on his back. She wipes it with a rag. Kai understands that they cannot be together because he is not of royal blood and instead a half-breed. Lord Kira, the master of a rival province, comes to Ako to prepare for the shogun's arrival. He gets helped by Mizuki, a witch. Kai catches her amid the concubines and looks into her eyes. He informs his new master, Oishi. Oishi dismisses this as Kai being enamored by a stunning woman. A fight takes place with one of Kira's troops, known as the Lovecraftian Samurai. Yasuno is preparing to battle him, but Kai and Oishi's son Chikara see Yasuno has milky eyes. He has been bewitched. Kai dons scarlet armor and a mask before facing Kira's warriors. Kai engages in a combat with him, but he is defeated and his mask flies away, exposing him to everyone. The shogun orders the samurai to execute Kai, but Asano steps in, claiming responsibility. Kai gets hit till he falls unconscious. Mizuki detects a weakness in Asano at the moment. She pulls some purple liquid from Kira's arm and breathes on it, forming a spider. She slithers inside Asano's room as he sleeps, releasing the spider. It creeps over his face and deposits the liquid in Asano's mouth, bewitching him. Mizuki makes Asano hear Mika scream and calling out for him. Asano watches Kira assaulting his daughter and cuts him in the back with his sword. As the bewitchment wears off, Asano gets controlled by other men, and see Kira is not attacking Mika. The shogun sentenced Asano to death for attacking Kira, who was unarmed. He lets him execute seppuku so that he can die as honorably as he lived. Asano informs Oishi that he is doing this to protect their clan and asks him to look out for Mika. The ceremony is held for Asano to leave in a white robe to complete his death. Kai is not present because he is waking up from his beating. He is aware, however, that something is awry. Mika watches as her father inserts a sword into his stomach, and Oishi, with sadness in his eyes, decapitates his master. Two women give Mika a vial of poison to drink in order to end her pain, but she refuses because Ako has not yet fallen. The shogun declares that all samurai are now Ronin. Before leaving, the shogun permits Mika a year of mourning before she is to marry Kira, and he commands Oishi and the samurai not to seek vengeance for their master's death. Kira then orders his soldiers to throw Oishi into the pit for fear of retaliation. A year later, Oishi is pulled out from the pit by his wife Riku and Chikara. He is tending to and informed that Kira will marry Mika soon. Furthermore, Kai has been sold into slavery in a Dutch town. Oishi enters this town and discovers Kai fighting a giant deformed man. Kai defeats and decapitates the man, to the delight of everyone there. Oishi walks in, leading everyone to believe that another duel is about to take place. The two fight with their swords until Oishi informs Kai that Mika requires his assistance. Then, they escape. Kai and Oishi gather the remaining Ronin and vow to avenge their master and send Kira to hell. Oishi takes out a map and says he'll take them to a village where they'll be given swords. The Ronin travel to the village of Uetu, where the sword makers refuse to give them any swords because they work for Kira. Kai joins the Ronin as they fight the sword makers and then leads them to a place where they may definitely find swords. Kai leads the Ronin to the Tengu's temple. As a child, he ran away from this location. He promises Oishi that they will provide them with swords, but he must never pull his weapon, no matter what he sees. Kai approaches the Tengu Lord, a man with a snake-like face. He asks the sword that is placed in the ground, and the master instructs him to simply take it. He proceeds to teasing Kai about his childhood while Oishi is in the same room as the other Tengu. One Ronin draws his sword, and Oishi stands by and watches the Tengu attack his fellow warriors without drawing his weapon. Kai fights the master until he grabs the sword and nearly decapitates him. Kai finds Oishi and informs him that they have been handed their weapons because he passed his exam and never used his sword. What he saw was an illusion, and his warriors are safe. Mizuki disguises herself as a geisha to infiltrate a nearby town. She seduces a fellow Ronin just before they come to this settlement and are ambushed. Mizuki uses her fire skills to assault the Ronin, and Kira's troops join in the fight. The Lovecraftian samurai also intervenes, murdering some Ronin and burning others alive. As she appears to have wiped out the majority of the Ronin, she takes Oishi's sword and leaves. Kai and Oishi take care of the surviving Ronin. One overweight Ronin, Basho, tells Kai that as a child, he would throw stones at him. Kai claims he recognized himself when he saw his tummy peeking out from behind the trees. Just before his death, Basho apologizes to him. Oishi regrets not going after Kira following their master's passing. Mizuki enters into Mika's room as she sleeps. She mocks her with the supposed deaths of Kai, Oishi, and the rest of the Ronin. Mizuki slips her a knife, stating she vowed not to harm her, but Mizuki seems unconcerned about what Mika does. Before the Ronin make their final stand, Yasuno apologies to Kai for disrespecting him and expresses gratitude for saving him from the beast. He hands him a sword and bows to him. They and the other Ronin then sign their names on a scroll and mark it with their blood to mark their actions in honor of their lord. Oishi says, "We are now 47. On their way back to Akko, they come upon a band of performers. They recognize Oishi and the Ronin from a previous trip to Akko. Oishi asks for their assistance. Kai and Oishi sneak into Akko with the performers just as Kira and Mika's wedding is about to start. The remaining Ronin sneak in by climbing the walls and killing Kira's guards. A performance is staged with Oishi in disguise. He makes closer to Kira before a battle breaks out between his soldiers and the Ronin. The Ronin attack and fight back while Kira flees with Mika. Mizuki sneaks out amid the chaos. The Lovecraftian samurai prepares to strike, but a Ronin tosses a bomb. It bursts, destroying the huge samurai. As Kira and Mika flee, she takes out the knife Mizuki gave her and lunges at Kira. Several guards appear on the scene, giving Mika the opportunity to flee. Oishi finds Kira and starts fighting him. Meanwhile, Kai reunites with Mika and embraces her. Mizuki has cornered them. Kai claims he is not terrified of her, despite her saying that he should be. She then transforms into a giant serpent-like dragon and lunges at Kai as he prepares his sword to combat her. She nearly kills him several times before she believes she has defeated him. Kai sees Mizuki about to kill Mika, but he grabs his sword and moves quickly to plunge it into Mizuki's head. She transforms back into her human form before dying. In another scene, Oishi's fight with Kira concludes in a room. Oishi places a knife in Kira's stomach and says, "Know now the depth of my master's courage." He plunges the knife into Kira's neck and decapitates him. Oishi brings Kira's cut-off head before everybody, ending the fight. The Ronin travels to Lord Asano's grave, now that he has avenged his death and can rest in peace. Oishi speaks with the shogun and admits his crimes. He simply demands that his guys be respected for their actions. The shogun states that, while their crimes are punishable by hanging, he admires their courage in avenging Lord Asano. He allows them to conduct an honorable suicide. Both Oishi and Mika wept tears. Kai and Mika enjoy one final moment together before he dies. They promise to find each other again in the future life. They share one final kiss. The ceremony of the Ronin seppuku takes place. The shogun calls Chikara and permits him to live so that he can carry on Oishi's bloodline. As he inserts the knife into his stomach, Kai and Mika exchange one final moment. Later, Mika sits on a bridge reading a message from Kai, which states his vow to her that he will look for her in whichever world she is in next. The narrator claims that the legend of the 47 Ronin remains alive for generations. The message at end says that every December 14th, thousands of people assemble at the Ronin's graves to honor what they did. Their story serves as the inspiration for the movie.